With the 4th of July celebrations just a week away, we decided to start this week's Explore Tulsa with a place full of summer blockbuster history.
Then the artists in the old projection room.
Followed by brewing up marketing success.
Plus, looking good runs in the family.
Hi, I'm Stevie Fernandez.
And I'm Trish Whitmer. Hello, and thanks for making time for us on this week's Explore Tulsa. Now, Stevie, what was the first movie you ever saw at a theater?
I think it was the re-release of that darn cat from Disney at the Showboat Theater.
Wait, the re-release?
Yeah, back in the olden days, movies didn't go straight to HBO or Netflix. They'd bring them back to the theater a couple of years later.
Ah, then you'll probably enjoy a nostalgic trip to Bixby's Nusho Theatre, first opened in 1919.
This was my family's livelihood. My dad came from Morris, Oklahoma to run the projectors here for Mr. Gillmore in 1940. And so he brought my 2 older brothers and my mother here, and myself, which I was 6 weeks old. That was a big deal, yeah. Yeah, there you had to run 2 big projectors, and you'd have to watch for the little circle showing up on the screen. You start the lamp, and then next circle you start the motor, and the next circle you would switch the cameras from one side to the next, or projectors. It's quite a deal. And then we got here and we had, well, our whole family, we just kind of grew up in this area. And this Mr. Gillmore owned the building and owned the theater. And so he kept my dad working, and then he put us kids working, sweeping it out, selling popcorn. And I sold popcorn from the time I was 12 years old until I graduated from high school in 1958. And it seemed like the movie artists, they wanted to get involved more with the public and stuff. Yeah, Hopalong Cassidy, Roy Rogers, and Gene Autry all came here.
I remember when the actors and actresses came to town, Monty Hale and Virginia Mayo. He was sitting on the edge of the stage, and I put my arm on his leg, and it felt like real hard, real muscular, you know. I was in awe.
I do remember sitting right over there, and Hopalong Cassidy came in during the day and performed for a bunch of school kids. And I was about maybe 13. And I was sitting by this real pretty young lady, girl, and he commented, he said, "Hey, isn't that a cute couple?" And I said, "Well, yeah, it is," but I got under the seats and crawled out because it was embarrassing. Okay, in 1996, the building came up for sale, and it was kind of in shambles. The roof was falling in. It was just in terrible, terrible shape. And so I bought it. I owned a couple of other companies, and I just started using this for storage and stuff. And I used it like that for almost 10 years. And about 6, 7 months ago, we decided to breathe new life back into it because Bixby needed something like this. Well, we had an Elvis impersonator that came out, and they come out 2 or 3 times, and we had a drummer that plays the drums and sings, he and his sister, and we have another gentleman that comes out with this guy that sings, but he's blind, and he just amazes me. Yeah, well, the people that's coming in, they'll come in and say, "Hey, I met my husband over here," or "I used to hold hands with my boyfriend over here," and it's just bringing back a lot of old memories to a lot of Bixby people. Well, it was self-satisfaction because that's what I've been after, is just trying to reach out to the people and provide something that's going to lift them up and make them enjoy life a little bit more.
Tom has the right idea. I always thought it'd be so much fun to own an old theater.
To learn more about upcoming events or how you could hold your next gathering there, look for Nusho Theatre on Facebook.
I couldn't help myself, so I snuck upstairs where the old projection room used to be, and I found the most amazing artists.
Aw, you sure did. Heather and her mother, Rhonda, have taken doll collecting to a whole new level.
And we'll show you how amazing it is next when Explore Tulsa continues.
Hi, Dr. Robert Zelma here. For over 20 years, I've offered affordable, convenient eye care in Tulsa. Right now, you can get one pair of glasses or contact lenses starting at just $99 or my two-pair deal for $129. Hey, and as always, the eye exam's included. Walk-ins are always welcome. Glasses are ready in about an hour. Plus, we have over 2,000 frames to choose from. We're open 7 days a week. Come see why we're voted Tulsa's best. And our drive-thru at 69th and Memorial makes pickup simple and easy. For the best eye care value in Tulsa, Dr. Robert Zelma and Associates.
We can control lighting products, shade, thermostats. We can integrate with alarm companies, door locks, ceiling fans, sprinkler systems.
For instance, if you wanted to walk into your theater room and press play on your DVD and you want your lights to turn down 50%, if you want to turn your lamp on and off, if you want to be able to start your coffee pot in the morning or set a timer to do that, with ZWave Technology, you have that capability.
From ground zero, a customer can start with as simple as a couple light switches or light bulbs even from Philips and go through, and we can build on that and decide if they want to scale it out and they really enjoy those features.
And then if you want to add your lights, your thermostats, controlling your garage door, closing drapes, anything that you may want to do can be added piece by piece.
We don't like to have to press buttons if we don't have to. We've began to do integration with voice control where you can actually speak in a room.
You can give out a simple command like lock the door, turn up the thermostat to 75 degrees.
And with preset commands, you can make shades come down, lights come on, or make your television start playing Netflix, all with very simple voice prompts.
Normally we like to set up a free in-home consultation. We'll come out, see what your needs are, see what equipment you may have.
A lot of modern products are already compatible with smart control and home automation.
We can give suggestions from there, see what all you may want to be able to control.
The possibilities are endless these days.
Hi again. Good of you to stay with us for more Explore Tulsa.
Trish, you're gonna have to be quiet for our next segment. There are way too many babies that you could wake up.
No worries, Stevie. I know all those babies look real, but they're just very well-crafted dolls by Rhonda and Heather at Once Upon a Time.
I know for a fact one of those babies tooted in my direction and laughed at me.
I've been an artist, not necessarily a painter, more pencil. Some paint. In fact, I graduated Bixby High School here and used to do the Green Corn Festivals when I was a teenager. There are posters and things like that. The very first time I saw this artwork was a documentary on TV, and it was called My Fake Baby. And it was about the lady was making the dolls, and she was taking them around to stores and places like that and selling them. And then it also talked to the people who were buying them and why they bought them, and it just really intrigued me. Well, I collected dolls for years. This is what really intrigued me about getting into this. And noticed that, you know, they looked real in the picture in the magazine, but when I got them, they didn't. And so I wanted something better that looked more realistic.
I've not been the doll collector she is, but I do know how much she loves the dolls, and it was definitely intriguing when she talked about the documentary. And then I started, she said, I can teach you how to do this, about a year after she had started, and I learned from the best.
Oh, I do know that every single doll is, you know, I just get started making it, and it just comes to me what I want them to look like. It's just a feeling, and I spend over 60 hours on each doll.
The babies, when you start, you know, they're a blank kit, completely blank canvas. So when you start painting on them, and as you're adding the different layers, they kind of start to come to life on their own.
I start with the veins, and because that you want that underneath the skin, and the skin layers are put on top of that, and then the mottling on the skin.
As you're putting some of the blushing on, or freckles as detail, they just start developing their own personality. I never have a set idea in my head when I start. It just kind of develops throughout the process.
The hair is actually a mohair, and sometimes it's alpaca hair, but the kind I generally use is Angora goat hair. And the hair I put in with a very tiny 43 gauge needle, 1 to 2 hairs at a time.
It's a good feeling when you sell a doll, I won't lie. It's very exciting, very nerve-wracking, because you've put so much into this doll that you hope that the new owner is going to love it as much as you do, because it comes a part of you throughout the process.
I always get excited for one thing, and love the whole process of when someone does buy a doll, of doing up a box for them, for their doll, to mail it. And I actually try to do the box like a baby shower, because it's maybe the only baby shower that person might ever have. And so I wrap all the little outfits and make sure that there's a complete layup in their diapers and a baby bottle, and I even do baby shower mints and a little package in there, and just make the box real festive. So when my customer opens the box, that it's just an experience in itself.
I can't believe how real those dolls look, and Heather and Rhonda spend so much time making their art so realistic.
If you're interested in their collectibles, you can find Rhonda and Heather's dolls at Etsy.com. Their store is named Reborns by Rhonda.
Those babies look so real that they could get themselves in the movies.
Maybe all they need is the right marketing team, like our next guest at Coffey Design. They're just ahead with more Explore Tulsa.
The oils generally consumed for cooking, like vegetable and canola oil, aren't exactly good for your health.
One of the most important factors to consider when choosing a cooking oil is the temperature at which an oil undergoes oxidation, also known as its smoke point.
When an oil reaches its smoke point, the molecular structure can be changed into compounds that are dangerous to consume.
As a rule of thumb, the more refined the oil, the higher the smoke point.
4 healthier cooking oil choices are coconut oil, olive oil, avocado oil, and ghee.
Download our free smoke point chart for exact temperatures these oils and others undergo oxidation at sherwoodwellness.tv.
Hi there, so glad you're back for more Explore Tulsa.
You know, Stevie, if you own a business these days, you are swamped with marketers telling you how to optimize your social media.
Oh yeah, they're always talking about the SEOs, your CTRs, about your KPIs and your PMSs.
Now you're just making stuff up, but it can be overwhelming unless you find someone who's been doing it for a long time and can help you make sense of it all.
Like the people at Coffey Design.
Mm-hmm.
My parents bought me an Apple IIc back in the day, and it had, a couple floppy disks with it, and one of them was BASIC. And so I wrote my first program and started falling in love with computers. So I started tearing it apart, seeing what I could do with the computer itself, adding new stuff to it. Just kind of geeked out on it. While I was in college, I went to work for a company called Insight. They were in Phoenix, and so I left Oklahoma, went to Phoenix for a little bit. And we took their catalog. They were a direct distributor of hardware, hard drives, floppy drives, computers, that kind of stuff. They had this huge catalog that they mailed out to everybody. Internet was fairly new back then, and so we put them online. So I learned how to write HTML, and we started putting them online. And
We put about 1,000 products online for the first go at it, and then a year later, one day, they did $1 million in sales online. Another friend of mine that I'd worked with had gone to GE, and he said, hey, you gotta come over to General Electric, this place is awesome, a lot of fun stuff going on here. And so I said, great. We went over to General Electric, and I was there for about 9 years. After that, we started having kids, all that fun stuff, from Oklahoma. My wife is as well. So we came back to Oklahoma and started Hot Coffey Design, just kind of as a thing that we needed to do. I actually started Hot Coffey Design in 2003 while I was still at GE. But all I did was work on a couple of larger projects. One for my Native American tribe, and just a couple of some family member stuff. But then we didn't start focusing on it until about 2008. So 2008 was the beginning of what you're seeing today. Started working out of our house, having fun, taking on clients. I was driving all over the place, knocking on doors. I literally went and I would pick a section of Tulsa, and I would just go knock doors and walk in and introduce myself and look at their online presence and just talk to people. Then we grew, and we were into a warehouse here in Bixby, where it was just a little bitty warehouse and just an office. It gave me an opportunity to have clients come to me, which was a huge jump for me. And then we got to this tipping point, and I told my wife, hey, I'm working 14, 15-hour days, sometimes more. At some point, this has got to give. So we started hiring a few folks. And what we've tried to do is find pockets of expertise. So content writers, developers, graphic artists, video production stuff, everything you can think of from a digital standpoint, all the way now to where we're buying media and that kind of stuff for folks as well. The first thing you see when you're walking into is a little courtyard outside, and that's what made me fall in love with the space. You walk in, typically you see my wife sitting up front to greet you. We've got a little sitting area where you can play Xbox or watch TV, or movies are always playing. And then as you come back, we've got the big pit, and we've got that's our creative area. What we try to do here is just make it a place that people would want to come, not just clients, but also people that work here would want to work here. Our goal, our thought was always to be about 15 to 20 folks that work here. We don't want to be the biggest guys in town. We really focus on the relationship side of this business. We want to know you. We want to get to know you. We want you to know us. So we want to become friends. We want to know you. We want to work hard for you and deliver exactly what you want.
John has so much experience working with internet marketing. It's almost like he created the whole thing right after Al Gore invented the internet.
Al Gore did not invent the internet. And yes, John and his team are a great resource. To find out for yourself, visit hotcoffeedesign.com.
John can make your web presence look beautiful, but for really good looks, you'd have to turn to Jan and Allie at Admiral Beauty Supply, coming up next with more Explore Tulsa.
600 million people from over 238,000 miles away watched what no other person had ever done before. Neil Armstrong became the first man to step on the surface of the moon.
It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
Television brings us more than just entertainment. It brings us history. History that changes our lives. Sony and Video Revolution take you there, from space travel to world championships. Tomorrow's technology today. 4K smart TVs and the largest flat screens available. Now more than ever, you have the best seat in the world when history is made. Video Revolution. On the northwest corner, 71st and Lewis.
We do podiatry, we do dental oral appliances, we do women's health, we see children, pediatrics, and overall family care.
I'm a primary care provider for soonercare. We're also taking commercial insurances now as well. Any given day, I might do a well child on a 4-day-old baby, and then see a 72-year-old who's here because they need to follow up on their sleep study.
Patients seem to like the idea where they can just come here and they don't have to worry about going to all these different specialists, whether they need a sleep study or a CPAP machine or diabetic shoes or an oral appliance. We help bring all that to the table for them.
And especially with oral appliances, custom fit by a specially trained dentist, and we have Dr. Bennett, who's the best in the business.
It has been my dream to be able to work with all the specialties together. There are not many places in the United States that have all parts of this together. To me, it's amazing, and that's truly how sleep and patient care should be.
Welcome back. It's good to see you still with us for more Explore Tulsa.
You know, people are always asking me, is Trish as beautiful in person as she is on TV?
Do they really?
No, but if they did, what would you say is your secret to always looking so good?
I'm not sure if I'm supposed to take that as a compliment, but having great beauty products for one, and someone you can count on that has experience to know the good from the bad, like Jan and her husband Allie at the Admiral Beauty Supply.
I grew up saying that I would never get into the beauty supply business. And here I am, and the rest is history. My mother had some unique ideas for businesses. She kind of had an entrepreneurial mind, and so in 1963 she decided to open a beauty school. And out of the beauty school came Admiral Beauty Supply, which was the first beauty supply business in Tulsa, and I believe the state of Oklahoma, who sold professional beauty products to the public. I was the youngest of 5, so I didn't really get into the business until I was actually in college. I worked a little bit, here and there through junior high and high school, and a little bit, and coming home on the weekends from college and some in the summer. But I got into it on my own after I came home from college.
Well, I was working at the restaurant. She was working at the beauty supply, and she came in, dining and all that, and she gave me a wink. So I told her, I said, would you like to call me? She said, I'll give you my business card. So I called her. After a couple of weeks, we got meet again. And then after that, we started dating until we got married 3 months after that.
Then after my husband and I married in 1985, we opened our own location at 91st in Sheridan.
Well, I was totally foreigner to that beauty business. All I knew about restaurant and business, that's where my degree was, marketing. But she said my mom is selling one of her stores, the original in Admiral. So she said, I want us to buy it, and then we can, you run it.
The beauty supply business and beauty supplies, I don't think will ever go away. And not only for women, but also for men. We have many products for men, hair and facial. And men are now getting clear manicures. The wigs have changed. They are much lighter weight, a lot more comfortable, a lot cooler. The cosmetics last longer. The shampoos and conditioners now take just a teeny tiny bit to use to get a good, effective cleansing for the hair.
Yeah, it's about over 25 years ago we combined the salon to it, because people keep asking us, do you know a stylist we can go to or do their hair? Do you suggest anybody? So as the time went on, we said, we can open a salon. So we do full service, as far as styling, perming, coloring, waxing, the full service, massage, all the things people need to do in a salon.
When you come in, we will help you determine what might be best for your hair style. We have color charts. We can help you decide what is the best color that would match. We love to give the personalized attention. We have the largest selection of nail polish, I think, in the state of Oklahoma. If you can't find your nail polish color here, you might as well not look anywhere else because you're not going to find it. You know, they say beauty is only skin deep, and it is, but when you think that you are looking your best, it gives you a confidence that helps you to communicate and function more appropriately, you know, in the outside world. So it's very important to us to really help you look your best. We have a saying that you are beautiful to us, and for men, you are handsome to us.
I think it's so wonderful when a husband and wife are able to team up and work together all those years and have a successful marriage along with a great business.
To learn more about Jan and Allie's secrets, visit AdmiralBeautySupply.com or visit them at their 91st and Sheridan store.
Makeup should come with a warning label.
Really? Why is that?
Just this morning I saw a woman holding a mirror and putting her eyeliner on. That takes two hands. She was driving with her knee.
Stick around. There's more Explore Tulsa just ahead.
Take charge of your health. We are what we put into our bodies.
We approach medicine from a unique standpoint. Rather than treating only the symptoms of an illness, we work to find the root cause and promote wellness of the entire body.
Our clinic offers complete assessment and treatment programs, including hormone replacement therapy, osteopathic manipulative therapy, and genetic DNA testing. It all starts with a medical evaluation.
Contact us today to begin your path to wellness.
Be sure and join us next week when we meet Sam Walker and learn how drone flying got him into the NFL.
Special thanks to Tom Daniels and his family for bringing new life into the Nusho Theatre in Bixby.
Well, thanks too to the mother-daughter team of Rhonda Bartley and Heather Williams for sharing their unique art with us. Please don't wake all those babies up. It'll be horrible. And thanks to John Coffey for telling us his story at Coffey Design.
Plus, thanks to Jan and Allie Tabrizi for keeping Tulsa beautiful at Admiral Beauty Supply.
Remember, if you miss any of the show, you can always catch us at exploretulsa.com.
As always, each week we feature the people, places, and attractions that make us proud to call Tulsa our home.
And hey, don't forget to like us on Facebook and share with us someone you think Tulsa should know more about.
Plus, remember, Explore Tulsa is brought to you by Video Revolution, located on the northwest corner of 71st and Lewis.
Stop by, say hello to Ron and all the guys for all your home entertainment needs.
And Explore Tulsa is also proudly brought to you by Dr. Robert Zelma and Associates.
Home of Tulsa's best eye care value with two locations, 3030 South Harvard and 69th and Memorial.
And we welcome our newest sponsors, Drs. Mark and Michelle Sherwood at 61st and Sheridan.
Remember, your journey to whole body healing and wellness begins with the Functional Medical Institute.
Well, that's all the time we have for you on this week's show, but we'll see you next week right here on Explore Tulsa.